What is happening, everybody? Now I'm going to have a quick look at some LP analysis about what took place. And I thought the best way to do it is on a spreadsheet. Now it's going to be very basic and it might help show the way my mind thinks. Now I'm hoping that you can see the spreadsheet on the screen. And basically, before I continue, I'd like to say again, in an unofficial manner, in regards to anything I mentioned on the stream. Also, I really want to take a break from crypto, but this is just so fascinating watching this all play out. And I had no expectations of Pulsechain ever launching. And the fact that it has is just blowing my mind. And I have no regrets being a part of this community. So I'll continue. And no one should. No one. Now, if we look at the spreadsheet, it's pretty basic. If you had set up a ratio early on, when the price was basically nothing to transact, when there was no price, so it actually was nothing. All it was PLS getting burnt. Now, I thought I would use this example here. Token, PLS, PulseX, unit 100, unit 100. So that's like in an ideal LP. I'm not sure that's possible because the ratios were a bit different. But I thought this is the best way to explain maybe what happened. If that was the case, price was zero, the LP fees, I guess, were in question. Now, the starting ratio, I did some calculations, but I thought as a good example, you'd see 100 PLSX and 100 PLS, and say you end the ratio, you'd most likely have something similar to the current ratio, so it's like 1.2, 1.2 and a bit. So I copied that ratio and applied it just to this example. And the starting ratio I used, I think about 3-to-1, something like that. And we have PLS, you'd end at 80, and PLSX, you'd end at 80, and PLS, you'd have 120. So, 80% plus 120% for the other one. So that's where we can see there was no actual fees, which is interesting because I didn't pick it up. But mind you, I still have not ended a farm, so that was the time in which I would have calculated this. But yeah, that's not the point of this stream. But I thought that's a good way to depict it. So yeah, that's basically the analysis. You wouldn't have any fees, and that's what would have happened. If you'd end, you end with, in this example, most likely less PLSX and more Pulse, which is surprising because I wasn't sure how the ratios were going to go. What else? Now, I guess before I go on to the actual other content I've got lined up, I think these are 3 points we should look at. Where is it? What's happening, Finbear? I just saw people in here. And I guess so the missing fees is a red mark, just purely because it's, not the best thing. But mind you, move on to the next point. If you were in a farm, like one of these farms here on screen, possibly the ended ones, depending on how they played out, there is a question on, I think they only show if you actually have your wallet connected, but yeah, there was that strange event with the copy of wrapped Bitcoin. But yeah, anyway, that was a bit strange, so I just left that one out. But you would have got INC token, and I perceive it as a positive, although I'm extremely small. A larger player may not have perceived it as such a positive. Something like the PLSX burn was benefited from this bug, I guess you would call it. Now, what else? Yeah, that's about it. On this particular topic, I thought this was pretty funny. Again, I'm pointing out what I'm seeing on Twitter, shout out to everyone who I'm pointing out. Please don't take offense to any of this. I just thought the way I read this was that we all, as users, you know, might have picked this up, like those who knew how to read the code. I didn't know how to read the code, so I can read on-chain data but not the code, so I wish I could. I wish I could have helped out. I thought it was kind of funny. It's funny, I thought that same way. I don't know if it did get audited, and if it did, I'm wondering how, you know, like auditors, I really wonder their skill level, because I'm not sure, man. Like, yeah, something about auditors. We've seen some stuff in the news about auditors, and like, and that's just normal auditors, not crypto auditors. Are they cutting edge? I don't know. But then, lo and behold, this came out as well, and it said the bug was actually reported to GitLab. It said, but the person reported it also closed the issue as resolved shortly after. So you can't really, if you know something's been closed off, then it's been closed in logic. But yeah, then it says, yeah, this tweet here. I'll put a link in the comments for this video as well for that. Hey, Sensitive, what's happening? Untick the stake button. Oh, okay, I'll try that. I haven't got my wallet connected though to this one, so. Oh yeah, nice. Thank you. That's the first time I've done that with this wallet. Sorry, with the wallet not connected. Yeah, this one here. So from memory, I saw this on Twitter, like the first one, because this one came out kind of diverting from what I was talking about. Still LP, still PulseX, it's alright. So I saw this on Twitter, the first one, very briefly before I went to bed. Not sure if I liked it, retweeted it, I'm not sure. But then, not long after, there was some more tweets that came out basically saying, you know, just to make sure you're interacting with the correct contract. So I'm not sure what happened with that one, because it wasn't even, like, it doesn't have any data here, like liquidity, etc, etc. So I'm just gonna leave that in the unknown category. Kind of like how the Egyptian pyramids were built. Now, the next thing is... yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So the next thing, I guess like the bonus content. Not really bonus, but just some notes like to add to the whole E-hex, P-hex, you know, hex. I don't know what you call it. Evolution. I remember leading into the fork, you know, it was people may have bought hex so they could buy PLS and maybe even P-hex. It's funny how that's just sort of dropped off and no one's really talking about that. I thought that I'll bring that up because yeah, that was a thing. People were saying, oh, if you want to buy PLS and you want to even, you know, or you want to buy P-hex, I guess is the assumption, or any copies on Pulsechain, and you didn't have a way in because you didn't sacrifice, the assumption was you were going to buy hex and then use that to transact over on the Pulsechain. But I guess the whole bridge being locked up a bit and not being able to get access to Pulse could have dampened that a bit. Now, mention that out loud. But then the second part I was thinking of, the cheap hex nowhere. The bridge locked, I did think of that before, because if you have E-hex, P-hex and you're bridging over, technically you're taking the E-hex off the market, it's being locked in the bridge. So I pulled up in the hex search, where is it? Yeah, hexsearch.io, and this one, from memory, this one appeared. It wasn't exactly the wording, but I thought I'll play this one through. Again, this is just, it could be out of context. I'm just playing this short segment.
At a 1-to-1 ratio, so you locked up an ETH on the ETH chain. Now we're going to issue ETH on the Pulse chain.
So it's locked up on the, you know, on the bridge. And I found the next statement interesting as well.
And then you use it.
Especially because this is all live now, like unfolding in real time.
You use it, and you're like, hey, I want to bridge back over. Okay, well then, some admin key bot has to go, oh, this guy wants to get rid of this. And then it burns this, or you burn it, and then it recognizes you burn it.
It goes on to explain how the bridge sort of works in a simple way. And I thought it was interesting, just the comment, you might want to, you know, move your E-hex onto the bridge over to the Pulsechain side, play with it, then you might want to move it back over to the E-hex side. So I just thought I'd drop that in there, you know. And then the next thing on top of that, running off the back of that one, is not this comment. That's just the comment I use for a screen dump. Basically, when we all found out the LP had a quote unquote bug. Yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature. No, I won't say that. That's a joke. Now, the question I am now thinking as well is people that have 555 stakes on eHex, are we going to be staking? Oh, really? I'll play it back, hang on. I'll turn the music down. Alright, we'll do a replay of that. Where's the audio? Should come through. Ah, you're right, actually, it's not picking up the audio. Why is that? Oh, I know why, hang on. I think it's picking up the desktop audio. Refresh. This might pick it up this time, I'm not sure.
Here, at a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, that's better, hang on. So what I was saying...
Here, at a 1-to-1 ratio, so you locked up an ETH on the ETH chain. Well, now we're going to issue an ETH on the Pulse chain.
Okay, right.
And then you use it, and you're like, hey.
So it's locked up. You know, the eHex is locked up on the bridge.
I want to bridge back over. Okay, well then some admin key bot has to go, oh, this guy wants to get rid of his.
Right.
And then
basically explaining how the bridge might work, which is interesting because the bridge is now live. And, you know, maybe you want to play on the Pulsechain side. Maybe you want to bridge it back to the Ethereum side. Is, you know, just an interesting statement given this whole period we're going through.
It burns this, or you burn it, and then it recognizes you burn it, and it says, now I have to tell that other chain.
Yeah, it goes on to explain basically, you know, how the bridge might work. Again, that's just a small snippet, so there could be further context to that, but I just thought I'll find out locking up ETH and disappeared. So I thought that was interesting. Alright, so pull back that audio. What else was I saying? Yeah, the next thing is like moving forward, like from this point in time, from the fork, who is going to be doing? I haven't checked on chain if there's been any 5555s on the eHex chain, because you're no longer getting a copy. You know, on the Pulsechain side, because forks happen, and then if there's uncertainty about the 5555 meat on the bone, it's an interesting place because it's either going to be super valuable on the Ethereum side, or it's going to be super cheap. Super valuable could be because, you know, maybe it's, you know, maybe the price of Ethereum goes up, and there's lots of people, I'd imagine, with 5555s, and when that stake ends, you know, you don't want to be completely abandoning that chain, because if you did, you'd want to be compensated in some way. And if the T shares and the payouts are more favorable to some people on that chain, maybe that chain still stays alive, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's just very strange at the moment. But if you think about it, if your new capital being injected into the system, even if you're an existing hexagon, it's still hard to get my head around, because the traditional way was inject fiat into Ethereum and then purchase hex, or however you want to do it. Maybe you've got existing stables or something, I don't know. But then it's like, moving forward from the fork, you're not getting the double anymore, and what's the value going to be at the end? But then you know what I mean, that could happen both ways. Like, it could also be, what if you do a 5555 on the Pulse chains, and yeah, basically the best I can do is say it's either going to be super valuable or super cheap. and I could go into the liquidity bonding and if people are pulling liquidity and things like that, but yeah, it's just something to think about, you know. It's just something to think about. What else? That is about it, really. I mean, I don't know if you call it drama or what it is, but I think it's just gonna play out, and however it plays out, like I said, I have no regrets. This stuff is definitely keeping me distracted from... It's keeping me intrigued. Like, where's the... I just don't know. Like I said, I'm extremely attached to EX. I have stakes that are going to be coming out. The 5555 mark or less. 1,276 times, you know, days time. And I don't really, I wouldn't be looking forward to that ending with extremely high fees and it bleeds out and it's worth, you know, next to nothing over there. Unless the amount of PX is worth $1 or something. Then I might not be so sad. It's not really a loss. And if that were the case, say that was the case and EX becomes extremely cheap and Pulsechain Hex becomes Hex, is the Hex, then it wouldn't really be bound by liquidity anymore, because the liquidity on either side will either get pulled or it just won't be interacted with. The only way to move it would be through the bridge, which is, again, that is fascinating to think about. But yeah, that was my attempt at predicting the future, which I'm not going to attempt to do because there's so many things that could change along the way. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, this stuff has been very interesting. It's keeping me distracted from other things in the space which may be relevant to crypto. This is kind of interesting. 200 milli defending a case. But again, I won't cover this too much, but it's just interesting. It's soon to wrap up. As soon as June. So that's very close. I want to see how that plays out. And also, in closing, YouTube, thank you chat for tuning in. YouTube, you literally can't censor this particular video or give me a strike. I am addressing you directly because previously, if I had have told you that garlic would kill COVID-19, the Doherty Institute says, you would have given me a strike for medical misinformation. But YouTube, I object to your censorship because we have some studies that suggest that this is the case. Now this is, I find this fascinating. Anyway, sorry chat, this is just me and my little battle with YouTube. Do you know what happened, man? They I won't call them assholes, but these assholes, YouTube, they go through his old videos and give me like a strike for some video that's like, I specifically address them like I just did then, saying this is what I think and this is why, etc. This is just my thoughts. This is not medical information. This is just me talking on the camera on YouTube. And they gave me a strike. They took down the video after a warning. I had to appeal it. They watched the whole video and then they said, "No, it's okay." But I just had to take all the videos down because I was very close to walking away from YouTube. It's just frustrating. But now, as we see, this is why I want to cover this. I literally want to say, YouTube, you cannot say this is medical misinformation. This is literally the Financial Review saying it's also effective for, oh man, I can't even. Too many articles read or something. But yeah, it says also, if you read the article, SARS-CoV-2 and influenza. That's just, I'm speechless at this point in time. But anyway, Yeah, true. Sorry. Correct. Not just any garlic. The specific garlic mentioned in this particular article. Alright, YouTube, I'm not saying garlic. I'm saying this specific. Hang on, I need to pull it up now. Hang on. Otherwise, oh, it says that could be used. Oh, okay. Alright, YouTube, we'll get technical. Yeah. Australian garlic kills COVID-19, scientists at Peter Doherty Institute find. Australian garlic variety can limit internal spread of COVID and influenza A. That's the way I read it. It can limit the spread and kill it in the stomach, allowing the body to fight it off where it's not in the stomach. That's what the article reads by. Yeah. Sorry, I've just like I've just gone off track. What's that? Tins up. Sorry, I'm having like a little battle with YouTube because I'm just worried that they'll give me a strike for medical misinformation. So YouTube, garlic. This is an article. Australian garlic kills COVID-19, says Doherty Institute. And what? And garlic might not just be good for keeping families. Why am I reading this? But also COVID-19 and the common flu, according to new research being released on Wednesday by the Peter Doherty Institute. Scientists at the Doherty have been researching garlic properties. Thank you, Senzu. Over the past 18 months, have discovered a certain Australian grown garlic variety demonstrates antiviral properties with up to 99.9% efficacy against viruses which cause COVID-19 and the. Okay, I'll just highlight that green. I'm not saying anything there. The world first research commissioned by the Australian garlic producers. So again, some good stuff coming out of Australia, you know. Producers organisations involved in vitro testing against the SARS-CoV-2 and influenza type A. That's what I was pulling from a memory before. Viruses using garlic ingredients extracted from exclusive Australian growing garlic varieties. I'll laugh so hard if it's coiled garlic. Now, YouTube, that's just my thoughts. I'm not saying that. I'm reading from here. The most efficacious garlic varieties and their extracted proprietary garlic ingredients are being commercialized. Dude, that's going to set off the shelf so fast. They will be able to be taken as a soft capsule supplement similar to vitamin. Oh my god. That's actually good because I have, like I said, there's this thing called coiled garlic, not medical information here, YouTube, but it's just generally good for you. And I'm not against if people take things that are good for them, like vitamin C or fish oil, or omega-369, which is in some fish oils. Anyway, and are subject to a recently lodged international patent. Ooh, it's been patented. So if this doesn't get off the ground, I'm going to be asking some serious questions about the medical industry. Yeah. I want to read the rest of this. Dr. Julie McCauley, manager of Doherty's High Containment Facility COVID-19 Research Lab, said the results were striking. See, I'm glad this lab is in Australia, not in China. That's what I want to say. We wanted to know if these strains had the possibility of killing COVID-19, she told the Australian Financial Review. I thought it might fail miserably. We blindly tested over 20 varieties. We found that one of the AGP's products could reduce infectious titer of SARS-CoV-2 by 3 log-fold, 99.9%. That's so true. Oh man, it's like the big farmers like branched off. They've branched off into the supplement game now. No, I won't say that. Anyway, I got nothing against the big garlic industry. They're all good, man. It would have been good if they released this a little bit earlier, but you know. Now, we barely detected any remaining virus genome, indicating nearly completely beneficial activity. Oh, and if you check Glen 20 lately, it says effective against COVID-19. Lol. I had a conspiracy in the midst of COVID that I'm like, imagine if Glen 20 kills. It says it kills all viruses. And I'm like, COVID's a virus. Anyway, now tested across different sites to ensure results are not related to like the environment, nutrients, water, or anything. Like they didn't put on like silver or some shit. And Mildura, ooh, potent form of garlic. Give me some of that garlic. Garlic is known to be good for killing bacteria. It's long been used in traditional Chinese medicine. People have been joking with me that it might help for social distancing too. No. Dr. Colley said she has been testing dozens of products, materials, gloves, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Man, have you guys seen those silver gloves and like silver cloths and shit? Apparently they're like... Anyway, I won't say that because, you know, YouTube and their medical misinformation. Wonderfulness. Since the day, how do they know, man? Day of the pyramids. Was that when they were first built, or like the second or no? Anyway. But yeah, this video was brought to you by the garlic intro. Dude, don't say that. People will be. It's like, what do you? It's like, why are you inhaling the? This is a joke, YouTube. Don't cancel my videos again. This is a joke. People will be like, why are you inhaling Glen 20? It's like, oh, I'm just killing like the flu. It's like, dude, didn't that happen with someone else? But yeah, I just thought, like, when I read that, I'm like, you're kidding me. It's kind of cool though. Australian garlic, Australian grown. But I'll have to follow these people. Alright, this is the stream, people. Sorry, I was talking about LP, like my little spreadsheet, and some cool stuff I found on Twitter. This is the wrap up. I wonder if I wonder who audited PulseX in terms of like, are the auditors, are they good, or like I've heard like on some Richard Hart videos that the auditors don't even like, you have to explain to the auditors what it is they're looking at, and then they tick the box like, okay. Doesn't give me much faith. Basically going over, these are the existing LPs, and you will see that the ratio that you hold will have changed from the date that you entered them in. Once you end them, you'll find the rates will have changed either more than or less than your starting amount. It'll be very unlikely unless you're extremely lucky that it's equal to. And there's missing fees, which I pointed out. But if it's in a farm, you get INC, and if you look at it as a positive, which I do, it was sent. It wasn't like just lost. It was, you know, sent to benefit the PulseX buy and burn feature. Now, yeah, and then that's the quick clip. That broke like yesterday. Man, time's flying. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in crypto. I hope crypto wins, because, like I said, cash and crypto cannot coexist with CBDCs. But then, what is the regulators gonna try and do? That's my next question. Yeah, Hex Daily Stats, and then I ended up with the conspiracy that came true that garlic can kill COVID, certain types of garlic, as per the article, after testing. Not just COVID, but, you know, the common flu. So I wonder if this garlic supplement I have will turn out to be the exact same shit. Alright, peace out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Kind of a Hex video, but, you know. Oh yeah, and YouTube. I still don't like you, but, you know, as long as you leave my stuff alone, then it's okay. But yeah, I still prefer Rumble. Alright, peace out.